over and over again. Failure, failure, failure. And this is a story I've been wanting to tell everybody for a while now. And I've been saving it for today because I called my grandma and was telling her about this bar mitzvah. And what's your speech going to be about? I'm going to be talking about this, I'm going to be talking about that. And the children of Israel rebelling against God. And she says, I've got a funny story about that. When your cousin Jimmy was probably 5 years on their finger, that would be the way we do it. Tie a string around your finger to remember, whatever, right? He tells them, no, you're going to tie 4 strings on every corner of the garment. They're going to be bright blue, and they're going to dangle down so that every time you see them, you look upon them and you remember every one of God's commandments. I mean, the Pharisees, their problem was do. Right? We're called to do and remember. Do and remember, do and remember. And so it may seem silly that we're wearing tzitzits. This seems like, shouldn't I be focusing on something else? Aren't there more important things at hand? Yes, there are much more important things at hand. And every time you look down, you'll be reminded of that. My very first tzitzit was not a tzitzit. It was a little ankle bracelet that was given to me. And it was given to me at bike camp because it was a Christian camp, and you showed up for camp, and the first day, you're just a kid. You're just showing up for camp, you want to ride bikes. We're going to go riding all through the mountains. So they work you that first day. They just take you straight up a mountain. We're going to go camp up there. Right? Tonight we're camping up there. We're going up this mountain. They kick the crap out of you that first day of bike camp. And he gives us these bracelets and tells us not to put them on. Don't put these on yet. I just want you to take it, put it in your pack, keep it with you all week. I'll tell you why later. Right? Then we start studying the Bible. And by day 2, we're doing quiet time. We're going to be, we're all going to get together with the counselor and get into some deeper discussions by ourselves, one-on-one each, camping, doing all this fun stuff, but really getting into studying the Bible. And by the end of the week, at Eagle Lake Camp, whether you're doing the bike camp, the horse camp, or just regular camp, or whatever it was you're doing, by the end of the week, you left thirsting for God. I mean, they did a really good job with my whole childhood. I kept going over and over again. And it was weird because day 1, like I said, you're just a kid. And by day 7, you really have this passion going. And everybody around you is doing the same thing. And there's a schedule to it. And so since everybody else has to do it, and you have to do it, then we're all going to do it. And so you don't feel weird about it. And everybody just gets into it. And it really was a great experience. I'm glad I did that when I was a kid. And the counselors knew this. And my counselor also knew that when the kids came back to camp the next year, they were just kids again. Next year. Right? They weren't, what happened to day 7, Aaron? When you left, day 1, Aaron comes back and he's back to his old ways. Right? And so he gave us these bracelets as a reminder. Tie it around your wrist, tie it around your ankle, tie it somewhere on your body. I did mine on an ankle so that I could shower with it, never took it off. I'd dress up nice or dress up however, didn't have to take it off. Left it on all the time. And I just need to get a new one. It broke, fell off. I gave Lindsay, after 7 years, 7 months, and 7 days, my original bracelet. And so she got me one, and then that one broke. So, and then hers broke while she was wearing it. So, anyway, we need to get, they have to be those perfect old arcade prize bracelets. And we can't find them anywhere. They don't see it. So we've been looking, anyway, get new bracelets. But I think that was my first tzitzit. My first tie on this reminder of the commandments. Let's see. I want to read a psalm. Because this says it all. And it's one of my studies that has the idiom of a hardened heart in it. And it just speaks to the essence of it. So I'm just going to read the whole psalm. It's not real. 95. Psalm 95. Oh, come, let us sing unto the Lord. Let us make a joyful noise to the rock of our salvation. Let us come before his presence with thanksgiving, and make a joyful noise unto him with psalms. For the Lord is a great God, and great King above all gods. In his hand are the deep places of the earth. He strengthens the hills also. The sea is his, and he made it, and his hand formed the dry land. Oh, come, let us worship and bow down. Let us kneel before the Lord our Maker, for he is our God. We are the people of his pasture and the sheep of his hand. Today, if you will hear his voice, harden not your heart, as in the provocation in the day of temptation in the wilderness, when your fathers tempted me, proved me, and saw my work. 40 years long was I grieved with this generation, and said, it is a people that do err in their hearts, and they have not known my ways, unto whom I swear my wrath that they should not enter into my rest. That they should not enter into my rest. And you get into the New Testament, and it's the leaven of the Pharisees. The leaven of the Pharisees. They're do all day long, right? I'll tie the seats on, right? But they're not remembering. They're not remembering widows and orphans. The greatest commandment. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind. Love your neighbor as yourself. Right? What good are your seats if every time you look down at them, you remember, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and treat your brother as yourself, because that's one of God's commandments, and you're supposed to remember all. It says the word all of God's commandments when you look down at your seats. Then I'm going to read a proverb. Also short. Okay, Proverbs 28. The wicked flee when no man pursueth, but the righteous are as bold as a lion. For the transgression of... you know what? I've got some other stuff, and this one goes on for a while, and I can give you the gist of it. He says, good guys do that, bad guys do that. Good guys do that, bad guys do that. This is good to do, this is bad to do. Whoso causeth the righteous causeth the righteous to go astray in an evil way, he shall fall himself into his own pit. But the upright shall have good things in possession. Every verse in this proverb works like that. Here's what the bad guy's going to do. Here's what the good is going to do. Then, verse 14. Happy is the man that feareth always. You're going to be happy and you're going to be fearful at the same time. You're going to be scared all the time. Right? Fearing all the time. But happy because of it. Happy is the man that feareth always. But he that hardeneth his heart shall fall into mischief. Let's see. Isaiah, Ezekiel, Mark 6:52. I mean, hardening of hearts. You gotta do all 39. Go in, find the idiom, read it, and make yourself a chart. What are the implications of this? What are the results of this? Who's doing the hardening? Am I hardening? Is Pharaoh hardening? Is Jeconiah hardening? Or is God hardening? I mean, Jehoiachin, one of the kings that was doing evil, was 8 years old. Really, God? 8 years old, he's king, and he's going to do evil? Of course that's what, if they're going to let him. Yeah, that's what an 8-year-old's going to do if the people around him are going to let him, right? And it's God hardening those kings' hearts through that whole situation. And it brings the destruction of the temple. That would be, go on your chart, what happens as a result of this hardening. No more temple. Treasures go to Babylon. In fact, you're coming with me to Babylon too. Temple destroyed, right? A lot of bad stuff comes out of this. Divorce. A hardening of hearts. This is the reason for this. If you would just soften it up a little bit and figure this stuff out, don't be so hard, we wouldn't have divorce.